Last June 27 to July 22, 2022, 5 students from Philippine Science High School attended their Science Immersion Program or SIP with Project SINAG at the National Engineering Center in the University of the Philippines, Diliman. The program aims primarily to further embed a scientific mindset among the students and to strategically expose them to the world of science and technology by allowing them to learn directly through internship and mentorship from the works of top-notch scientists, engineers, researchers, technologists, and academics in various academic and research institutions, largely in National Capital Region.
We've given access to computing the distance of each of the Solar Edge plant stations to the Pag-asa AWS, Synoptic, and Agromet plant stations using Coordinate Distance Calculator, and then the selected plant stations are the ones operational under 5 kilometers away from the Solar Edge plant stations. The highlighted locations here are from AWS stations with 7 of the 26 stations. Here we have Synoptic stations with 5 of the 51 stations, and lastly from the Agromet stations that have 2 of the 26 stations. Please refer to tables 5, 6, and 7 for the information. We can further analyze the data by using the Quantum Geographic Information System by mapping to have a clear and direct analysis of the Solar Edge plant stations. Here we will see the Pag-asa AWS plant stations from the Solar Edge plant stations. Next, we see the Pag-asa Synoptic plant stations from the Solar Edge plant stations. And lastly, the Agromet plant stations from the Solar Edge plant stations.
Vector network analysis and zonal statistics of Pag-asa AWS and plant locations in the Philippines. The Solar Path group was given different tasks on zonal statistics of Pag-asa AWS, Synoptic, Agromet, and all stations combined in the Philippines. Here we can see the zonal statistics per province of the Pag-asa weather stations.
We were also tasked with designing a map layout for the vector network analysis of the specified stations. We learned how to use the buffer, difference, and intercept tools. The overall map of Pag-asa's Agromet, Synoptic, and automated weather stations within 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers of Solar Edge stations are shown here.
Project findings from operational Pag-asa plant stations. So final evaluation and selection of plants and Pag-asa AWS, Synoptic, and Agromet plant stations are to be used in forecasting. Plant stations were evaluated and selected through the means of distance in operation. Selected plant stations have a distance of under 5 kilometers to Solar Edge plant stations and are operational. So this is the project findings from operational Pag-asa AWS plant stations, in which there will be 6 plant stations that will be used in forecasting, namely Pasig City, Bacnotan, La Union, Port Area Manila, Science Garden Quezon City, Calibo Aklan, and Tagum Davao del Norte. Next, the operational Pag-asa Synoptic plant stations, in which there will be 5 plant stations that will be used in forecasting, namely Piraxen of Catanduanes, Port Area Manila, Baguio City, Benguet, Science Garden Quezon City, and Dumaguete, Negros Oriental. Next, lastly, operational Pag-asa Agromet plant stations, in which there will only be 1 plant station that will be used in forecasting, namely Echagio Isabela. Next, in conclusion, there is a total of 15 out of the 33 Solar Edge plant stations that have more than 1 year of operation. There are 7 of the 26 automated weather stations or AWS, 5 of the 31 synoptic stations, and 2 of the 26 Agromet stations that were operational. Overall, there are 14 of the 83 Pag-asa AWS, synoptic, Agromet, and Agromet plant stations that were operational. Out of the 15 Solar Edge plant stations, 7 AWS plant stations, 5 synoptic plant stations, and 2 Agromet plant stations are selected for forecasting.
Project SINAG is also concerned in analyzing the effects of high temperature on solar panels, such that higher temperatures mean lower efficiency and lower power output from these systems. For the analysis of the effects of high temperature, we downloaded data from ERA 5, U10 and V10, and T2M data, and got the monthly average of these data. Next, we computed for the wind speed using the U10 and V10 monthly average. Finally, we were able to compute for the cell temperature using shortwave radiation data, T2M, and wind speed for each month of the year 2021. After computing for the cell temperature, we have come up with a map layout of the Philippines. Lanao del Sur, Maguindanao, Cotabato have a consistent hotspot with high cell temperature except for the month of June. Pangasinan and La Union also have a consistent hotspot with high cell temperature except for the month of June. There is also a noticeable hotspot in the Cagayan Valley region for the months of May to October of the same year. For the month of May, we can notice that the cell temperature concentrated in the northern Luzon area have higher temperatures compared to other areas for the same month.
SINAG experience is that I had a lot of fun learning new things, particularly about solar panel, and I'm thankful to have a real work experience. I acquired and developed the skills of teamwork, communication, productivity, decision making, and professionalism. That solar component taught me how to do data analysis, data evaluation, and programming. I'm very grateful for the opportunities, experiences, and skills given to us to become ready when we're able to work in the future.
I have learned how to use Excel more when dealing with large quantities of data. I fully understand how the panels work and what I need to know in taking care of it from the site to the programming part. This project encouraged me to study furthermore the use of renewable energy.
Hi, I'm Dave Pepito, and overall, my experience as an intern in Project SINAG was full of interesting activities. It was enlightening and I learned a lot of things in mapping, data analysis, data collection, and data presentation. It was fun having a face-to-face experience as interns and learning a lot of new things with my fellow interns.